See? It's... Hi, I'm Aries and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to talk about how I care for my Phyllanthus mirabilis. So let's talk about this plant first before talking about how I care for it. This plant is native to Thailand, I think. What's interesting about this is that it's actually a tree. So unlike other caudiciforms, their codex is mainly their root, or it's a part of their main root system. For this one, it's actually its trunk, if I'm not mistaken. When they are potted, they tend to form a codex, and when you plant them on the ground, they will actually lose their codex and become just a regular tree. And then the genus itself is very interesting because there's also a water plant. Actually, I've had this plant for more than a year now, going on 2. And what I've noticed is that the codex actually grows. So here's a reference of how big it was before compared to now. The leaves actually fold up when it's already nighttime. So they basically sleep. So now, let's talk about how I care for mine. First, let's talk about light. For light, based on my experience, they do well in bright and direct sun. I have 2 plants actually. So I have this small one and I have a bigger one. So I'll place a photo there. For this one, this is actually placed in a spot that receives bright and direct light the whole day. And then my bigger one is placed in a spot that receives direct sun from morning until noon. Based on experience, light exposure doesn't really affect the foliage color. I think it's more on temperature because my bigger plant was grown in Baguio, and the first time that I got it, its foliage was green and then it went dormant, and then last year when it woke up, it gave me reddish foliage like this. So I think it's the temperature that affects their foliage color rather than light exposure. So since Baguio is cooler, the foliage they put out is green, and then since Metro Manila is lowland and warmer, they put out reddish foliage. Next is medium, and for medium, people usually recommend cacti and succulent mix. For me, I don't really use cacti and succulent mix for this. I use a combination of rice hull, cocoa dust, and carbonized rice hull plus a little pumice, just because my balcony is a little bit windy and technically these are little trees, so they like water more. So that's the mix that works for me. And then people would generally bury a third of this plant. For me, I don't do that. I would just lay it on top of the medium and that's it. They actually put out roots there. So what I've noticed is that they would actually attach themselves on the medium. See? It's... So I didn't find the need to bury this in the medium. Another reason why I just lay this on top of the medium because I want to avoid rot, because my bigger one actually rotted and it's buried a third of a way. So when I had a chance, I cleaned it up and I just laid it on top, then it was good. Next is watering. What I've noticed is that this plant is actually a little bit thirsty and I water this almost every day. And to think my medium retains more water compared to a cacti and succulent mix. So I think another factor why my medium dries fast is because I placed it in a clay pot aside from the plant being a thirsty one. So there. I think regardless of the medium, as long as it's fast draining and fast drying, we're good. And then finally, dormancy. With dormancy, I'm a little bit confused because right now, as you can see, this is awake and my other plant is dormant. This actually woke up during the burr months, and then the other one went dormant during the burr months. So personally, I can't really determine their dormancy period because, like I said, I have one that's awake and then another one that's asleep. But actually, there are signs that the plant will go dormant soon. Like, I think this one's going to sleep soon because foliage is starting to yellow and then there's no new growth. This one's still growing, but there's no new growth on this one, so it will drop this branch soon, and then this will follow, and then this small one will follow too. So there, once this one goes dormant, I'll expect this to wake up around September or October this year, and then the other one is going to wake up around June or July. So that's it for my Phyllanthus mirabilis care. I hope you got something from my video today. And take everything that I've said with a grain of salt because plant care is not set in stone. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please subscribe. Hit that bell button for notifications on my future videos. Please follow me on Instagram. I'm more active there. Talk to me there. Thank you for watching. Happy planting and see you on my next video.